So, this is an overview of a sort of experimental book that I made. I'm doing it in video form just because it's easier than documenting it all written down. I'm trying to document it visually. There's a second copy of it that's yet to be bound, so I can try and maybe change some of the things in this version to better them. So it's spiral bound, like this, A4, and the cover is mirrored from front to back. It's called DIP-TYCH, and this cover piece is just an old end of a film scan. So if we open it up, you'll see that it's split into two packets like this. So it's an experimental book, split the title, DIP-TYCH, because it's exploring image pairings, and we'll come to that at the end. In fact, we'll jump straight to the end, because there's a little end text or summary. Yeah, that can be seen. So it reads, in photography, the key concepts, Bate, 2016. David Bate speaks to the origin of the photo book. This issue of control and meaning, coupled with ambitions to become visual essayists, led photographers to publish their pictures under their own authorship and as their own body of work. In a new phenomenon, a wave of photography books, or photo books, as they are now generally called. In magazines, newspapers, control, or authorship, over sequencing and pairing of images was handed over to the picture editors, who would often shift or warp the photographs, warp the photographer's original telling or view of events, leading to conflicts of interests. This experimental book imposes no overarching narrative, instead exploring accidental synergies between pairs of images. The photographs in the series are from no particular project, in no particular sequence, and are only separated into two even groups to avoid either group having an overwhelming majority. Through these accidental synergies, the aim is to hand over authorship of these narratives from the photographer to you, the viewer. And there is just the quote from that book. So if we go back to the start of this book now, DIP-TYCH, even the title page is split into two, and that's so that whichever side the viewer turns first is the first image they're introduced to. And the viewer is left to turn either page at their own pace and can create their own dialogues between images that otherwise never would have been created. As I said in the summary, there was some slight thought into these two packets, but it was more around not including too many portraits, or too many portraits in order, or landscapes, or detail shots, just to try and artificially randomize it in a way. But the viewer, as they flick through, creates their own sequence of images, which sort of reflect on one another. And you can start to imagine some of your own stories that these photographs might be telling. So really, this photo book was just a proof of concept, or an experimentation, and it's not a new body of work. A lot of these are old photographs, or prints, but it just demonstrates a more playful concept.